everything travel update and tourism, especially with how Black and African travel. But on the first hour, we always have a good lens on a global perspective of travel and tourism just to see what is happening around our world. And while we are at that, we take that second hour to place a close look, to have a close look at development in Africa, especially as travel and tourism is surging and people are beginning to look into that aspect of development in travel and tourism, where we see a lot of flight development, a lot of hotels are opening up, and it does feels that Africa is the hub when it comes to travel and tourism. Do stay with us as we get in to bring you continental brief on wake and wonder. Welcome to Wake and Wonder Continental Brief. Here are the travel news and update on Travel Radio Live. The Democratic Republic of Congo is reportedly in talks with the United States over a controversial migration policy that could see deportees from other countries sent to Central Africa. Talks between the Democratic Republic of Congo and the United States are underway over a proposed third country deportation agreement that could allow migrants from other nations to be sent to Congo. The discussions involving input from the United Nations and the International Organization for Migration are taking place between Kinshasa and Washington, with potential implications across Africa. While no timeline has been confirmed, the move is aimed at speeding up U.S. deportations amid stricter immigration enforcement, using bilateral agreements to relocate non nationals to Congo. This move reflects Washington's growing reliance on African nations like Ghana, Cameroon, and Eswatini for similar arrangements, though legal experts warn of human rights risks, especially where migrants face relocation to countries they have no ties to. No deal has been finalized yet. The key question remains: who will be sent, when flights could begin, and what Congo stands to gain. For African travel and migration system, this raises urgent questions about movement, identity, and the continent's evolving role in global migration control. 8 migrants described as African origin have been deported from the United States to Uganda, marking the first confirmed transfer under a controversial third country migration deal. A group of between 8 and 12 individuals described as being of African origin and not citizens of either the United States or Uganda were deported last week following US court approvals, despite concerns about their inability to safely return to their home countries due to fears such as persecution. The migrants arrived on Wednesday and Thursday to at Entebbe International Airport near Kampala as part of the broader immigration strategy under President Donald Trump. The move is enabled through a bilateral agreement signed last year, which designates Uganda as a safe third country to receive migrants relocated from the US. But the move is facing sharp resistance. The Ugandan Law Society has condemned the deportation as dehumanizing and is taking legal action, calling it a violation of international law. For travelers and diaspora communities, this raises urgent questions about mobility, human rights, and Africa's growing role in global migration systems, as countries like Ghana, Rwanda, and South Sudan also enter similar agreement. You're listening to Continental Brief on Wake and Wonder. This quarter, Morocco welcomed 4.3 million tourists, a 7% rise from last year, keeping its crown as Africa's most visited country. March alone saw an 18% jump in arrivals, thanks to stronger air links, new source markets, and upgraded hotels and entertainment. Tourism revenue hit $2.3 billion by February, marking up around 8% of Morocco's economy, with visitors' numbers now nearly 50% above pre pandemic levels. In 2025, Morocco drew almost 20 million visitors, boosted by cultural and sporting events, including football tournaments. Looking ahead, the government aims for 26 million annual visitors by 2030 as Morocco prepares to co host the FIFA World Cup. April 2026 is shaping up to be a landmark month for African aviation. Three new routes are strengthening regional connectivity across sub Saharan Africa, marking or making travel faster and more efficient. Air Tanzania now flies direct from Dar es Salaam to Mahé in Seychelles 3 times a week, offering East African travelers easy access to luxury island escapes and business opportunities. TAG Angola Airlines launches Luanda up to Abidjan flights, opening smoother access between Southern and Francophone West African for trade and corporate travel. Meanwhile, Fly Gabon introduces a twice weekly Lagos to Cotonou service, cutting down travel time for West African business and regional tourists. These routes reduce reliance on European hubs, lower travel costs, and align with Africa's growing intracontinental travel demand, supporting the African continental free trade areas push for economic integration. For travel and tourism professionals, the opportunities to create new packages and experiences across the continent have never been greater. Africa is flying higher and closer than ever before.
If you ever feel alone. Hi, this is Debbie Aquara. I live in Lagos, Nigeria, and I listen to travelradio.live. Have a good one. Just know that I'm always very loud on the other side.
Travel now. Travelradio.live. And lastly, on continental brief, Cape Verde, Africa's island gateway, is facing a health scare as over 1,000 tourists fell ill with shingellosis in March 2026. The bacteria infection spread through contaminated food and water, has prompted travel advisory across the continent. The outbreak concentrated in Praia, but now affecting Sao Vicente and Santo Antão, has caused hotel in Mindelo to see occupancy drop by 34%, while airlines report flight cancellations. Health officials urge travelers to postpone non essential trips until May and to follow strict hygiene measures, drink bottled water, avoid raw foods, and carry proper medical insurance. Tour operators are offering free rebookings, and authorities are upgrading sanitation facilities across the island. Cape Verde tourism sector is resilient, but safety comes first for visitors planning their next African escape. For Travel Radio Live, this is your Continental Brief.
We're bringing you the stories behind the journeys, from cultural explorations to travel hacks, from industry experts to passionate travelers. This is where the world meets to share experiences. Welcome to Leading Travel Conversations, the show that keeps you dreaming, planning, and exploring. Only on Travel Radio. Let's talk travel.
Every week we go through
You're
exams
still
daily.
motivated.
No, no, I'm not motivating.
You're motivated.
I'm not.
Is Trump power drunk?
Ukraine should be allowed to do whatever he wants to do. It's a country on its own.
Yeah,
You're missing the point.
Wait, I'm not missing the point.
What are the challenges? What is exactly going on? Why is there so much hullabaloo?
It's just
because
like,
it's a back door.
no. It's not because it's a back.
News and banter. Stay informed.
All right, if you're just joining us on Wake and Wonder, I just want to say happy Easter to you. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful network on via www.travelradio.live or via our streaming platform Radio Cult, or maybe you're listening via or watching via YouTube and TikTok. I still have the rest of my team in the house. Mazino Dixon is in the house and Success is in the house. Success, can we just seize this opportunity to say happy Easter and welcome a couple of people who are joining us? I'll be looking on the side of the YouTube channel. Success.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Topper. Good morning, Mr. Mazzino. I see you guys joining in. Thank you so much for joining. I see you, Moselle. Thank you for joining. I see you, Gowiza. I see you, Bella. I see you, Naka. I see you, Tati Peace. Thank you so much for joining. Stay tuned.
David Allen on the side of the YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We recognize you. And let me straighten my eyes a bit. Glenn Franklin, I see you. There's another name. Take the throne. Beautiful name. I see you. Thank you guys for joining us and for everyone listening in via the audio platform. Thank you for still joining us. And let me just seize the opportunity to just also give a quick shout out to the countries that are joining us this beautiful morning. United Kingdom is leading our chart into our listenership chart, followed by Nigeria, United States, Canada, Portugal, Albania, Brazil, Spain, Belgium, India, United Arab Emirates. We've been talking about you. Germany, Finland, France, Italy, Netherlands, Sweden, Singapore, Turkey, and Vietnam. We have over 20 countries joining us this morning to listening on Travel Radio Live. Thank you guys for being part of today's episode of Travel Radio. I think Mazino is going to be championing this conversation as we are going to also be looking at it's Easter uh, in the world. I think in major parts of the world, especially if it's a Christian country or they have a percentage of Christians, and is recognized as a national holiday for a lot of people across different countries. We'll be looking at five uh, eco-friendly beach resorts in West Africa, so you can make it a date. One of the interesting things Mazino mentioned was travel would have increased in West Africa as a result of the impact on the Middle East conflict, and that's definitely. But even before the Middle East conflict, there has been a significant amount of migration within Africa. Talking about 80% of Africans travel within Africa. So the idea of immigrants are in our country, they are coming from third world country. Think again, because it's just 20% of this. And what's even interesting about Africa is that, take for instance, Moroccans have where they like to go to in abroad, and when it comes to maybe going to Europe, America, Moroccans know like they have a certain place they go to. When it comes to Nigerians, they have certain place they go to. We know that Nigerians and UK is 5 and 6, and America, Nigerians will always, you always find significant amount of Nigerians in United States, in the UK. I think the same as Ghana. Ghanaians travel similarly like Nigerians. And then you see that Southern African mostly would travel maybe UK, Australia, New Zealand, and especially like Zimbabweans, South Africans, and some of the Southern African countries. So it is not like immigrants are all over the Europe or the West. It's just that 20% of Africans are scattered around the entire West. And not to mention that some Eastern African even tends to go to the Middle East. Come to think about it, I was shocked. Mazino, I was shocked when I saw people evacuating, Ugandans evacuating from Iran. I was like, wait, what? Make no mistake, I don't travel shame. I'm just saying I've always wanted to visit Iran because I have checked some of the tourism potential there and I did like it. I did like it. The only reservation I have not going to Iran is to understand what is acceptable and what is not acceptable so that I don't get myself in trouble at the airport. Otherwise, I'll be signing something I don't know nothing about that is not in English. And then maybe I'm signing my key away, thrown into the sea. And then, like, dude, you're not going home. And then Abike Dabiri is going to be coming after me if Kestama is not. Do you see my point? So I'm just taking, I need to be sure what a country requires for me to come and visit their country and leave. There are some countries I won't even take the risk of going because when it is that moment for me to bow to Kim Jong Un's that statue, I'm not sure what to do, and then I don't want to be whisked away, and then you broke our rules as a visitor, and that guy doesn't smile, he doesn't play. So Masino, we'll be getting into some of the conversation, but let's, before we get into the hidden gem and the huddle in terms of talking about the 5 uh eco-friendly West African beach resorts, let's just do a quick short uh, deep dive, not deep dive, but just highlights on some of the developments. Let me just bring them up so that you can weigh in on on it. We talked about the Democratic Republic of Congo with the United States over the third country deportation, as as they have had they've had conversation since last year about the being the safe country for third, I'm looking for the right word, it's called, um that's the third country deportation agreement. Yeah, third country deportation agreement. So yes, we that's one of it. So Congo, that is my comment. uh it's the place to go to for some of these guys to be going to. And so another one is the ones that just landed in Uganda, about 8 to 12 Africans of African origin. So they say they might be a Haitian, they might be a Haitian, Yeah, I have to open my eyes to say they might be Haitians. And then they drop them in Uganda. You never know. I mean, it is what it is. Uganda is beautiful. I mean, I'd love to go to Uganda. I can't wait. And I can't wait. So, I mean, if you deport me and you drop me in Uganda, I'll still celebrate. If you drop me in Rwanda, I'll still take it. You laugh. I mean, for real, where else? Where's the other country? I mean, where I need to check because I would just, oh, if you drop me in Ghana, I am going to lounge the rest of my life and throw you all a middle finger. I am gonna be lounging, drinking coconut water. Like, no, let me call it the British way, cocoa. I'm gonna be drinking coconut water. And then you know what? You have no idea. I will be a tour guide. You have Trump has done me a favor. Like my business is gonna boom. Like it's gonna go from no show to full occupancy. What are you saying? Seychelles, excuse me. And in no time, yeah, it's coconut water. Thank you, success. Yeah. So, I mean, Rwanda, Ghana, Rwanda's, sorry, not South Sudan. Sorry. Um, yeah.
South
Uh,
Sudan.
mm,
Oh my
mm.
God. This
Okay,
is so interesting.
so one of
You
it,
know,
one of the other highlights of the news is Morocco holds. Okay, we have 8 minutes for this one, so that we jump into talking about the resource, and I'm going to let you have that talk. So Morocco holds top spot as Africa's most visited destination. What an impressive one! I think the spot added up to that one, which is a good thing, very strategic, and I must say. And then also looking at the African skies that is now wider open to three new routes that is boosting regional travel. I am so loving that. Do you know what that has done, Mazino? It has cut off the having to route to Europe to now come back. Do you know you want to go to Gabon, you're flying to Europe first, come back to Gabon. How does that make sense? Help me. Now, there's a direct flight from Gabon to Lagos and Cotonou, which is pretty much nicer than ever. And Dar es Salaam is now going to Seychelles. Interesting. So imagine with your Nigerian passport, you can actually do 1 month in Uganda, 1 month in Kenya, 1 month in Rwanda, and the last month, maybe 4 months, you want to be away for 4 months, and then you can just say, I'm connecting from East Africa to Seychelles. Bingo. And they're traveling how many times? They're going 3 times a week. That is a beautiful holiday. And lastly, this one is very serious. 1,000 tourists that fell ill with shigellosis. I hope I'm pronouncing it right for medical people. And that's in Cape Verde tourism that hit by shigellosis outbreak. And there's nothing I fear like falling sick abroad. It's not nice. I promise you, it's not nice. I've had an experience like that, Mazino. It wasn't nice. I came in from South Africa to Delta and then did my stuff. I was so excited when I saw pounded yam and some vegetables. When I whacked it, man, on the road trip to Lagos, I was begging for latrine toilets. I was begging.
oh my God.
Mazina, I'll let you
My
have the
God.
next few minutes to just weigh in on all of these developments. What do you have to say?
Yes, very, very interesting. Talking about the deportation saga, it seems that some African countries are signing up for this deportation agreement with the United States. They hope that they could use it as a leverage for bargaining to get some either economic look-ins, to get some little, the whole idea is that um, President Trump had said that he was hell bent on removing all illegal migrants in the country, although they have committed different immigration or other offenses. And one of the first countries that was approached was Nigeria, and we were asked to not just bring in taking deportees from African countries, but specifically, we're asked to take in 200, about 200 to 300 Venezuelan deportees, and most of them have criminal records in terms of drugs and other offenses. And Nigeria said, hell no, we're not doing that. Ghana was the first African country to agree to be a third party recipient of African deportees. and most of those deportees were from West Africa, which made it easier. Cameroon signed up for it, Eswatini signed up for it, and now we've had Uganda being the fourth African country to do that. President Museveni of Uganda, he has a thing or two with the United States. They have a kind of, and so obviously he's leveraging on that, maybe for more aid and more support. For DR Congo, it's quite significant. We know that DR Congo is a country, right from independence, has been plagued by war. With the assassination of their first prime minister, Patrice Lumumba, that country had a civil war. Then in 1999, when Mobutu Sese Seko was overthrown, then there was what we call the first African regional war, when Rwanda, Uganda attempted to overthrow then Laurent Kabila. Then SADC countries led by Zimbabwe, Angola, Namibia intervened, and there was a real one. Over 4 million people died. So that country has been having it rough. And only last year, the current president now reached out to US President Donald Trump and said he would want America to explore their rare earth mineral resources. And since then, the US has taken the lead in trying to bring about peace in DR Congo. And so, obviously, one of the fallout is of that particular agreement is the agreement by DR Congo to receive the deportees. So they are discussing. It's not yet been completely firmed up, but they are in discussion. So that's obviously a strategic move by the DRC president to build a level of relationship with the United States because, I mean, up until now, we've not had a government in that country that has had a real interaction. And since Mobutu was overthrown, when DR Congo was then known as Zaire, the country has not really had a one-on-one interaction with the United States at serious diplomatic level. So obviously, that has been done to leverage on what was started last year, and it's something we'll watch and see. Many more African countries might want to sign up for it. Actually,
Interesting. And our time is up so that we can carry on this conversation. It is Easter. How is Easter for a lot of you? I'd like actually that I'd like Chatty to join us in the house. I'd love her to weigh in on what she feels about the deportation. I'd say though that living in Africa, returning to Africa, migrating to Africa is not a death sentence. It is, in fact, an opportunity that anyone could tap. And what's more beautiful about it is the fact that you have the freedom to move from one point to the other. Not to say exactly that there are no other restrictions, it's just to say that at least if you're being a visitor, you are most welcome. And that's what's important. But let's talk about something of more of interest that's got to do with attraction. And that's an aspect of tourism that we also need to explore on this segment of Wake and Wonder. We'll be right back after this short break.
Unai Suna Monica Unono Loboga du Bini Unohu Voyage Radio.live Unose.
I just want to say for just visit our website www.travelradio.live and check out our travel news. You would see some of the developments or the updates of the conversations we've been having, and there's been a lot of couple of things that we've touched on that are also in the news. So please feel free to go and tell us about it. And in the first hour of Wake and Wonder, we were talking about the impact of the Gulf War, of the Middle East war. If I say Middle East, of course, Iran, US, and or rather Israel, Iran. Let me put it this way: Israel, US, and Iran war. Yeah, and we're talking about the impact, and we raised a lot of. We touched on a lot of things. A lot of things. Let me just highlight because I just want you to react on that in the sense that the immediate travel disruption, airlines and flight costs that surged, tourism collapse in the Middle East, global travel ripple effect, cruise and maritime travel impact, travelers' behavior shift. And that's where I would like you to please weigh in. Charles, thank you for all the likes and love. And for everyone just joining us, I see you. Um, how has this middle war impacted your life? You can send us an email, hello@travelradio.live. Hello@travelradio.live. Otherwise, you can go on our website. You will find a WhatsApp icon. You can leave your WhatsApp and leave us a message via WhatsApp on www.travelradio.live. And if you're watching us via any streaming platform, you can as well just leave your comments. How has this impacted your life? The Middle East war as a cost you more in terms of expenses? Were you able to see your loved one this Easter holiday? And do you think you're likely to see your loved ones anytime soon? And how is it even impacting on your travels? We would like to know. Hello @travelradio.live. Or maybe you want to tell us your travel stories. Why not? Hello@travelradio.live. You can reach us via email. Otherwise, send us a text message. Visit our website and send us a WhatsApp message. Yeah, Marzino, let's get to it. So, this Easter, something is shifting in how we travel. And it's no longer just about where you go, but how you go and who benefits when you get there. So, across West Africa, travelers are turning away from crowded city breaks and choosing something more meaningful, eco friendly beach escapes. And that reconnect them to nature, culture, and community. And on this segment, we want to highlight on some of these beaches which you wrote about on Travel News on travelradio.live, www.travelradio.live. And we want to weigh in and take them one after the other to look at the the opportunity or the potential, the eco-friendliness of all of these, and to weigh in and talk. So if you are one of the people who love to enjoy nature and attraction, I mean, this is the time for you to weigh in and tell us how you feel about this. Tell us your experience. It will be something interesting to listen to learn from. Oh, Mazino just disappeared. All right. Let me bring Mazino back while we have this conversation. Is right up, and we'll be looking into it. So, while I'm waiting for Mazino to join me, um, it is also good to also mention that I personally love nature, and to see some of these spaces in Africa, especially West Africa, means a lot. It also gives me option. I've been to a couple of beaches in Lagos. I've been a couple of beaches in Cotonou, and I'm yet to explore the ones in Ghana or Ivory Coast or some of the coastal area around West Africa. And I can't wait to also be around some of these attraction. But first stop is going to be Nigeria. But I really like Mazino to weigh in on this, and I think we're struggling with connecting with Mazino right now. Um, but but then I will just crack on while I wait for him to join us in this conversation. And if it's something that you're very much interested to weigh in on, why not? Let's talk about it. But first off is Lakapine Tropicana Beach Resort. I've heard a lot about it. Unfortunately, I have not been there, but I've heard good things about it. And I've even read a profile of the owner one time, which honestly I've forgotten his name, but it seems to be an interesting place to visit, according to a lot of people who have profiled the place, who have written about the place. And for this Easter weekend, might be of the Easter holiday, might be a place for you to still go and visit, especially if you are having this week long break from work. Why not? That could be a place for you to to explore. And see, one of the thing I am very much interested in that I've not had time to do, which I might start exploring, is to profile beaches, attractions, especially relating to beaches, and looking at this Lacapine seem to be a scenic boat. There's it's got a scenic boat ride, and it, and it's in Lagos, Nigeria. And it said this African themed gem sprawls across 65 acres of palm-lined beach, river, and mangrove forest. I mean, that is amazing. I just hope that the reptile repellent is working, because I wouldn't want a snake crawling all over me. Well, that's my concern. I'm sorry, and I don't know about you, but let's take a little dive into the audio version of this. I don't know how long for, but it might just work.
Hello everyone, welcome back. We went for an overnight stay to a forest, river, and a beach resort located in Lekki, Nigeria. It's a 65-acre palm-fringed white sand beach resort, and it has river along with a mangrove forest. It took us almost 2.5 hours to reach the La Campagne Tropicana, and of course, at first we went to the beach, had some fun, clicked some pictures. This made us hungry, so we went back to our rooms, had some homemade food that we had carried with us. Later, we went to the beach, we danced, we played some games, we had some fun, we enjoyed the night view. The ocean was amazing. After that, we came back to our rooms, we danced on the drums played by our husband. We danced some more, created some reels, and then we slept. Early morning, we went back to the beach. It was surreal. At the riverfront, there was some more drum music, and then I couldn't stop myself to dance. And there were some water activities. We had so much fun doing those. And then, of course, I created some adventures of my own. And my husband enjoyed his horse riding. As you can see, it feels amazing. The day was exceptional. And then we jumped in the pools, we danced, and then we played some games. It was such a wonderful experience at La Tropicana. Hello, everyone.
Interesting. I mean, I can't wait to go now. I mean, looking at some of the footage, Mazino, it's something. It's calling my name. It's actually calling my name. 65 acres. Ugh, that's something. That's something. I mean, there are a couple of resorts in London, in the UK, that I've seen that it's just 10 acres, and this is 65. Wow. I want to go. What's your take on Lacapine? Actually, run us through. Mazino?
Yep, Tropicana is one of the most popular. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me? Hello?
absolutely.
Hello, can you hear me?
Absolutely. Loud and clear now. Mazino, you can crack on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Thumbs up.
Okay, so La Capine Tropicana is one of the most popular eco tourist resorts in West Africa and of course Nigeria, and it's been on for quite some years, and it was one of the most visited eco tourist sites in Lagos during the dirty December of 2025. A lot of Nigerians from the diaspora who just wanted to, have a feel of African hospitality, Nigerian hospitality. They actually patronized that facility. And of course, if our listeners or viewers go to our website, we did carry that story early in January, February. And yes, indeed, it's a go-to place that is practical. If you just want to be with your loved one, and if you are the kind of person that you don't just want to be with your loved one, but you want to catch nature, a glimpse of nature, far away from the noise, the hustle, and other distractions. You just want to concentrate. If you are the kind of person that wants to meditate, you like going solo. Lakapan Tropicana is a very, very prominent eco-tourist site that one should visit. Honestly, it's quite great. And of course, like you rightly said, there are other eco-tourist sites in West Africa that I think our listeners, our viewers, and our followers should take their diaries because, of course, in terms of security, what have you, these facilities are located in areas where security is guaranteed and where you can really appreciate the beauty of Africa. I mean, it's not contrived, it's not artificial, it is real, but it's enhanced natural reality. So, outside Lakapa and Tropicana, there's another beautiful eco-tourist site in West Africa, but this time in Ghana, and it's called Buswa Beach Resort. Buswa Beach Resort is considered Ghana's most pristine white sand beach resort. I mean, that's one thing you have to give credit to West Africa. We are lucky to have natural white beaches, and it's better seen, it's better felt. Of course, I've been to the beaches in Lagos. I've been to the ones in Lomé, Togo. I've been to the ones in Banjul, Gambia. I've been to the one in Senegal. So it's something that goes all through the region. So talking about the Boswa Resort, this low-key coastal haven keeps its footprint light with solar-powered, solar-powered common areas and locally sourced meals featuring plant-based West African favorites. Of course, talk about Nigeria, Ghana, the jollof rice, derby, banku, what have you. So they have it there in much, let's say, aplenty. So if you want to really enjoy Ghanaian cuisine, Ghanaian hospitality, the Buswa Resort is one beautiful place to go to. And I can imagine this Easter, a lot of people, a lot of travelers, both local and international, have definitely had a bite of that beautiful beach resort. And moving on, we move to Sierra Leone. That's on the far west corner of West Africa. And this beach resort, Moza Beach Resort in York, Sierra Leone. Well, it's just on the shoreline of Freetown. Of course, Freetown is a coastal capital. It's dramatic. It's from the reviews, a lot of travelers, what they love about this place is that it delivers eco-friendly luxury with private black sand stretches. Now, this is a departure from the white sand beaches. Now, this one has black sand stretches that, is natural. You have ocean view village. So if you're the kind of individual that loves to have a view of the sea, you understand, you just take a look. Then you can get book, try and have a holiday, Look, talk about the good thing about this is that Travel Radio, we don't just promote travel and tourism, but we are also encouraging Afro-centered, Afro-centric tourism. And if we're going to do that, then good. Why not go to Moza Beach Resort? It's beautiful. Outside the Easter, even if the Easter comes and has gone, you still have
I think
summertime to prepare.
I totally think
just book, plan ahead.
Mazino, I think I would definitely, my next visit to Lagos, I would definitely consider a place like Lakapine. And thinking about it now, on a second thought, I think Travel Radio's staff travel retreat might be on one of these resorts. Might be one of them in West Africa. Could be in Ghana.
I look forward to that.
I am looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
I mean, might be in
Then,
Ghana.
of course, moving away from the Sierra Leone, we go to the Gambia. And this one is called Footsteps Eco Lodge, Gonjuru. It's just a 20-minute walk from the Golden Atlantic beaches. It's not just 20-minute walk. It's immersed in protected forests. You understand? Now, one thing about this particular place, Footsteps Eco Lodge, it's from the review. It's considered an adult-oriented resort. In other words, it's welcoming to families, but it's for matured minds. You understand? Because it's within a mangrove area of the Gambia, the Banjul.
You understand? I've been to Banjo, I've gone to the white beaches, and trust me, I didn't have the opportunity to go to this particular resort because I didn't have enough time. But from what I was told from Nigerians that were there and other nationals I met, it's always a go-to place. I mean, it has roundhouse rooms and villas are they use natural local materials. In other words, it's not your usual POP, where we try to mimic the kind of architectural design we have in Europe and now replicate it. But no, this is different. Footsteps Eco Lodge is basically built the African way. So in terms of ventilation, in terms of that freshness, that just brings you to nature, but in a classy way. So if you really want to catch a glimpse of Africa at its peak, definitely Footsteps Eco Lodge in Gondoro, the Gambia, is one place to go. And finally, at least I can speak from experience, Senegal. Now, this particular resort is very interesting. It's a mangrove wonderland. It's solar powered, and of course, it's nestled in ancient baobab trees. It's interesting. This is where, for instance, you have a vegetation of northern Nigeria, but by the seashore. That's exactly what this place is like, and it's called Le Collins de Niziazam Palmarine. I stayed there for about a week and a half because I remember that time I was going for a kind of refresher course as a journalist. And I mean, I even did a diary then. That was 2013. I did a diary about my trip from Lagos to Dakar. And I definitely, when the time is right, I will say it on travel radio so that our listeners can imagine and go into my space because it was interesting. I mean, almost missing my flight. Lagos, raining in the morning. My flight was supposed to be 8 o'clock. I had to bike early in the morning, bike to Moritila Mohammed International Airport. I told the bike man, I said, look, if you can get me to the departure lounge, I will pay whatever it is. The man, and he did a good job. Talk about honesty, I don't know how he did it. He weaved his way through, and I was at the airport. And from there, I went to Dakar, and I stayed in this particular resort. Beautiful, very. One thing about Dakar, most of their houses, the roofs are built flat. It's flat, so you don't feel, especially at night, you it's very, very cool. Even with your air conditioning and all that, it's cool throughout. So even if it's summer and it's hot, or you just love it. So La Collins de la Ziam is very good. It's where the north meets the south. Let me put it that way. If you're from Nigeria, I mean, you can canoe through oyster beds at dawn, bake selfish over beach bonfires, or simply watch flamingos from your private deck. So it's a mix. You are your own boss. You have the opportunity to. It combines a normal hotel and a service apartment. So you have the opportunity to control your environment. You are in control of your environment, and it's quite fascinating. It's quite scenic. And for this Easter, I'll say, if you're out there, consider these destinations. And for your summer, consider these destinations. On the travel radio, we'll keep churning out hidden scenic sites and beautiful places to visit in Africa for your travel. Talk well.
Amazing. I mean, I like how you just lined them up. And on the what's even interesting about the piece that you wrote on this is that you also attached a YouTube video visuals for people to read and see for themselves. So I'm gonna urge you to please visit www.travelradio.live. Click on the travel news, at least maybe one more page, because we keep publishing updates, news updates. So you might just flip one more page just to see this news or just to see this update. And the title is Five Eco-Friendly West African Beach Resorts This Easter Season. And honestly, it's something you should take a dive into. You should actually look into it. And this is just giving me an idea of my next trip to West Africa. And I'll be really, really looking forward to this. I am actually jealous about Lakapine for that 65 acres of land, and the fact that you're also going to be sporting some creatures. like monkeys and what have you. I think it's going to be an interesting one. I'll be looking forward to the food. I'll be looking forward to a lot of things. And yeah, perhaps a lot of activities too. What a way to celebrate or to mark or to spend your Easter. I mean, just get yourself, lost yourself somewhere. And it's also going to be an experience if after work on a Friday, you just get yourself to that destination, especially for those who live close to that axis, you know, just check in and check out Sunday afternoon, and then you're back to work, fresh, rejuvenated, and who knows, maybe you get a nice massage right on the beach. You never know. Interesting conversation there, and the rest of Travel Radio program will continue on www.travelradio.live. Starting while Black is going to be the next program that is going to be coming after Wake and Wonder. The repeat of Wake and Wonder will continue for from tomorrow, so you can catch in on some of the things you might have missed out on that we have talked about. A deep dive is going to be continuing after from 10 o'clock after studying while black, and Busola's kitchen is back, and we're going to be taking you through series of episodes of Busola's Kitchen. Of course, we have business. Why not? If you're an entrepreneur, you can be on our podcast, The Urban Traveler. Or please bring it on. We want to talk to businesses. We want to encourage businesses in Africa, and we want to promote businesses across the African continent. Music Beyond Borders at 2 p.m. Don't you not tune in because I mean you can catch in on different music genre across the continent, across the world. And the rest of our program is lined up for your listening pleasure. Do comment, do leave us a message, and how else can we serve you better so that while on your journey, while on the go, you can listen to Travel Radio Live and get inspired on travel, tourism, and its development. Or maybe you want to weigh in on some of our news. Please do leave a comment, and you want to be part of our team in terms of your contribution. You are most welcome. All right, then that said, I just want to also seize this opportunity to thank everyone who has tuned in today on today's episode of Wake and Wonder. The next 3 months, we will bring you exciting conversation, bringing you experts to come and have conversations with us, weigh in on issues and developments, updates on things that are unpacking on in travel and tourism across the world and within Africa. Also, we are going to be coming up with a lot of podcasts. I mean, some of our podcasts are back and we are excited about it. We'll be looking at Nomad at Heart, where we talk to digital nomads, how they're faring in different destinations, what they're doing, their career path, their lifestyle, and with the way career is changing, especially with the advent of AI. Are you scared to lose your job? Are you scared that AI is going to take over from you? You never know. So why not? Let's dive into these conversations. Just tune in, and then we will be bringing you up to speed with a lot of experts coming on to have this conversation. Borderless Niger is going to be back, where we'll be talking to people, Nigerians living abroad, events of their lives, and places they live to learn what actually is unpacking and happening around them. That will be something interesting to learn because travel is education. And you know, one more thing, there are no two travels. Just before I go, we've got a couple of minutes. Maybe Charity wants to weigh in right now, or Mazino.
So for everyone out there, If you are from the Caribbean, if you're from the United Kingdom, if you're from Belarus, if you're from China, if you're from Russia, if you're from Australia, look, no matter what happens in the world today, there are still places and people to visit. Remember, travel is not just about seeing for the eye, it's about educating the individual, knowing about people, cultures, and places. So why not plan a trip today? Come to Nigeria. There's Lakapan Tropicana. There's Kajuru Castle in Kaduna. There's Tinapa Resort in Calabar. There's Elmina Castle in Ghana. There's, of course, the Dranskensberg Mountains in South Africa, the safaris of East Africa, the beautiful resorts in North Africa. Come to Africa. Africa is the heart of the world. I mean, Africa is the number one destination spot for tourism right now. Morocco is there, Egypt is there, Nigeria is there, Cape Verde, Seychelles is there, Kenya is calling. Liberia is open for business. Explore Africa, explore the motherland, and enjoy. And you get all the facts, figures from Travel Radio.
And interestingly, again, I also want to urge you to please follow us on all social network so that you can be updated with our live shows that is going to be that we're going to be airing every week. Weekend Wonder comes up every Mondays, and you can definitely just spend that moment with us to catch in on the updates of and development of things. All right, all that said, thank you very much for joining us today. We seize this opportunity to at least give you a little glimpse of what we were talking about the 5 eco-friendly beach resorts in West Africa.
Buzia Beach Resort, located in Buzia in the western region of Ghana. Don't forget that the best always comes from the west. You know. So now, get ready to enjoy the fascinating. Actually, the road to Buzua Beach Resort is hectic. But let's see if the place is worth the risk. Buzia Beach Resort is one of the most beautiful and attractive beaches in Ghana. But it saddens my heart that it's not even on the top beaches in the country. Just look at the waves. Take a view of the place. Hey, also, it's not easy at all. Not the environment, no. It's so sound, my dear. What do you want? What are you going through? You got to chill, okay? If you need massage, you will get it there. Like anything that you need. Hey, beach is your massage. Sure. For when you better there or western region. Your view of the place, no. This place is very big that I couldn't even imagine. Just check the pool. There won't crowd there or even the beach side ne. You nkra baby amudi amagro mpemfo baby amudi amagro pon so ye won nkra baby ye ne pepepe ntino like amato amobo ase we and America no obia de wom. So even if you're on a budget, my dear, you got no worries. Moklo Buzuya Beach Bali. Or do you? We are still at Buzia Beach Resort. You can see the place is very huge. But don't worry, I got you covered, okay? Baby girl, what's your when we talk about Eat Ghana, where Ghana and Grow Ghana, no, we na ye patrol, bibia ye Ghana made. No importation of agogo force bill, my dear. What are you telling me? Everything here is natural, homemade, and anything you could think of. One thing that I really love about Buzia Beach is their volleyball page. Hey, volleyball at the beach side, don't worry. Guys, we are still on the door. You won't believe. Buzia Beach Resort is a very big place right now. I'm tired. And my name is Francis Kanana Oba. You can also call me Pina.
All right, thank you. We've got to go now. Have a beautiful day.
Historic and fascinating things you need to know about the Western region and Ghana as